students, today again I am going to explain the directing chapter in which a very important topic is communication barriers. At first I am recalling the meaning of communication barrier. After that I will tell you about the different barriers of communication are present in your syllabus. So you should know the meaning of communicational barriers. Barriers are the problems, obstacles and hindrances which may be arise in the way of communication, because many of times some type of problem may arise in the way of communication, and the people those are participate in the communication process are unable to understand the message of that particular communication. So that we can say these problem or obstacles may be arise due to the wrong words, it may be arise due to the lack of connectivity, and also it may arise due to the words with similar meaning. So different type of problems may be arises in the way of communication. And today we have the topic that organizational barrier. And before starting the organizational barrier, I am going to recall the meaning of semantic and psychological barrier. Semantic barrier are those barriers which may arise in the organization due to the lack of vocabulary, words with similar meaning and different gesture posture. Because if these type of problems take place in the organization, then it will be categorized as a semantic barrier in the organization, and the management has to focus over the semantic barrier to remove these type of problems and to create systematic or smooth flow of information from one person to another. That is why semantic problems should be reduced, should be removed from the organization to create healthy relations between superior and subordinate. Then the psychological barrier is present. Yesterday I told you about the psychological barrier, because these barriers are arise in the organization due to the tension, anger, emotions and mind status of the participants who are going to participate in the communication process. Because if the person is not psychologically present, in the process of communication, then also the communication will not be completed and many of problems may be arises over there. That is why we can say psychological barriers should be removed, and in which the management should also help the workers to make them satisfied, to make them happy in the organization while providing all type of psychological support to them. So again, now the today's topic is organizational barrier. Organizational barrier arises in the organization due to the conditions made by the top management in the blueprint. Blueprint is a type of plan in which the management indicates that how the communication will take place in the organization and how the worker has to follow the rules and regulations and ethics made by the top management for the organization. So generally organizational barriers are those barriers which made by the management for the workers, and also in which the workers has to obey the orders, instructions and guidelines given by their superior. So these are the sub barriers which comes under the organizational barrier. The first one is organizational policy. So students, every organization have a different type of policy in which the workers has to follow the guidelines and rules made by the management, and organization policy may be differ from one organization to another organization. Some organizations create the liberal policy for the communication, whereas some organizations are following a strict policy of the communication in which they do not permit the workers to directly communicate with the superior, and some organizations are providing the free flow of communication. That is why the organization policy also work as an organization barrier for the workers. The another one is rules and regulations. The rules and regulations are the general guidelines which may be similar, which may be different from one organization to another organization, and rules and regulations are the basic guidelines which has to be followed by all the workers who are working in an organization. If the organization are following the strict rules and regulations, then the workers has to work accordingly. If the organization is using the liberal rules and regulations, then also the workers has to perform accordingly. So that we can say rules and regulations also plays an important role to develop the systematic working or systematic communication in the organization, in which all the workers, those are going to participate, they should know the message properly, they should understand the message properly, then only the communication will be completed. The another one is status. Status also work as an obstacle in the way of communication, because the worker who belongs to higher status, they are not comfortable to communicate with the people those are belongs to lower status. So it may rise in the organization so that the workers and the superior will not comfortable to communicate with each other, in which they see their status, and the workers also get hesitate to convey their problem to the superior because superior don't want to listen to them. So if these type of status problem, these type of ego problems are taking place in the organization, then also it is quite difficult for the management to create the systematic flow of information among the workers who are working in the organization. That is why status also work as a obstacles which take place in the organization due to the differences in the status, and the ego clashes may be done. And the next one is complexity in the organization. And generally it takes place in the large organization where more and more workers are working under the different departments. So in that condition, workers do not understand that from whom they will get the instruction and to whom they have to report in the organization, because different departments are present and every department is focusing over the completion of their own work. That is why sometimes the problems may take place and the workers do not understand that from whom they will get the instruction and to whom they have to report in the organization. So this type of complexity in the organization may also create a lot of problems for the workers as well as for the management. Those are coordinating their activities with each other, and those are trying to achieve the organizational goal by helping to each other. That is why complexity in the organization also create hindrance in the way of communication. The another one is organizational structure. Generally, there are two types of structures are followed by the company. One is functional organizational structure, another one is divisional organizational structure. And organizational structure also creates a communicational problem in the organization. If the management is following, if the organization is following the functional organizational structure, then it is quite possible to communicate with every person who is working in an organization, because all the workers are belongs to one line of product. Whereas if the management in the organization is following the divisional organizational structure, then it is quite impossible or next to impossible for the management to communicate with each and every worker, because every unit is focusing over the completion of their own task. So the management will unable to communicate with all the workers who are working in an organization, and it creates the communicational gap, it creates the communicational problems in the organization. Generally, in divisional organizational structure, one-way communication is present, in which the chief executive officer can directly communicate with the unit head, and unit head can dictate the target to the worker. But there is a communication gap between CEO and the workers who are working in an organization. That is why it works as a hindrance between superior and subordinate. The another one is organizational facilities. So organizational facilities we can correlate or coordinate with the leadership styles. If organization is using the autocratic approach of leadership, then also they do not provide the facility to the worker to give their suggestions to the management, in which only one-way communication present, in which superior only dictate the things, but he don't want to get the words of the subordinate. So in that type of organization, the problems of communication may arise, whereas the other approaches of leadership like democratic approach and free-rein approach, in which the workers and managements are easily communicate with each other and solve all type of problems. So that we can say these are the sub-barriers of organizational barrier which create the problems in the way of communication. And whenever the management is going to create the healthy communication between superior and subordinate, they have to focus over these sub-barriers and these sub-barriers should then only the healthy communication will take place in the organization, and the workers, those are working in an organization, they are able to reply properly to their superior, and also the superior can give their precious what we call decisions for the workers, and the management will easily achieve their goal. So students, it is all about the organizational barrier today, and I'll send you the notes related to organizational barrier. Then you should go through the notes, you should revise it well, you should watch the video again and again, because I'll send you the YouTube link related to it. So you should stay home, stay safe, and look at the video again and again to get the organizational barrier properly. Thank you.